Today's lesson of healthy, unhealthy, and abusive relationships might be the most important thing that we will talk about in this class. It's something that you're going to go through at some point in your life, regardless of which category you are in. You should know how to recognize if you should be with somebody, break up with somebody, or never speak to somebody again. So we need to be able to tell the difference. So what's a healthy relationship? Okay, here's some characteristics. Each person feels they can be and act however they want without changing. Both people accept the other for who they are. Both people recognize and appreciate natural changes that happen as the relationship develops. Each person establishes boundaries, so social boundaries, sexual boundaries, family boundaries, based on their own personal standards, so without their partner's influence, and both understand the difference between we and I. So if we look at this healthy relationship wheel-ish oval, in the middle, we got equality and respect, okay? That's going to be huge. But these other characteristics, honesty and responsibility. So you're not going to make excuses for your partners or your own actions. You're going to admit when you're wrong, keep your word, be honest, be responsible. Open communication. You got to be able to express your feelings and opinions and know that it is okay to disagree. Intimacy. You're going to respect your partner's boundaries, respect each other's privacy, and not pressure your partner. So be faithful. Physical affection, so whether that means holding hands, hugging, kissing, sitting or standing with your arm on your partner's shoulder, respecting each other's right to say no, and asking before acting. Fairness in negotiation, accept change, being willing to compromise, work to find solutions, and agree to disagree. Share responsibility, so make decisions together, do things for each other, go places you both enjoy. Sometimes you have to give up as much as you will be getting. Respect. Pay attention to your partner even when your friends are around. Value your partner's opinion even if it differs from yours, and listen. Last one here. Trust and support. So be supportive. Want to know that your partner wants the best for you, and you want to know that they want to know that you want the best for them as well. Okay, and just know that it's okay for each other to have different groups of friends. So let's look at an unhealthy relationship. One partner is dependent on the other, whether that's for money, attention, compliments, affection, rides to school. Number 2, unreasonable jealousy, creeping on you, asking for others for dirt. Was so-and-so in class today? Who are they talking to? One partner is in control of the relationship. They make the decisions, okay, and they don't ask for your opinion, and they shoot your ideas down. All right, and then one partner is only concerned about their own needs and wants. So they're selfish. And then this is where we start going into the emotional, verbal, physical, and sexual abuse. So warning signs of an unhealthy relationship. There's poor communication, whether it's fighting, you're just ignoring, maybe even fighting about the same thing, about someone not listening. There's some unresolved conflicts. So maybe something happened and you guys talked about it and you said, okay, I forgive you. But then you bring it up a week later, that's not forgiving and forgetting. Okay, so if there's insufficient amount of time together, so if there's not enough time or too much time together, okay, especially in high school, sometimes things go a little fast and there is a lot of time being spent together. And then abuse, so whether that is emotional, physical, sexual, or verbal. So what should you do if you discover you are in an unhealthy relationship? You got to break up with them, okay? But there might be some conflicts in doing so. So here's a few tips on how to break up and end a relationship. You have to convince yourself it's the right choice. Okay, so it might be difficult to break up with somebody, all right? Just because you see these healthy or these unhealthy factors, there might be some other good things. And if you can't convince yourself that breaking up at the end of the day is the right thing, then it's not going to work. You have to pick the right time and the right place. Okay, so maybe not right before they have an exam, out of respect for them. Maybe not at their house by yourselves, okay, out of the safety for you. So just knowing what time of day is going to work best for you guys and what location. You have to explain why you're breaking up with them. You can't just say that you're breaking up, walk away, and never talk to them again, all right? You want them to be able to know how they can get better in their next relationships. It's all about being fair to them. Okay, and you would hope that someone would tell you the same thing as well. Okay, you got to be honest. Prepare for uncomfortable feelings. So it's always going to suck. There's no way to avoid that. But just know that in the end, if you can be honest, you're going to feel a lot better. And then the last one here is my favorite. Make sure someone close to you knows you're breaking up, because you might wimp out at the end and not do it. And they're going to be there to be able to push you to do it, knowing that it's the right thing. But they're also going to be able to be there for you. So you need someone that's going to be on your side at the end of the day. So unhealthy versus abusive. Where's the line here? Okay. Be careful to notice if any of the following are happening in your relationship. These are warning signs. If you notice these things, it could be moving from unhealthy to abusive. Are you afraid of making your significant other angry? Are you afraid to disagree with your significant other? Do you need permission to do things and go places without your significant other? This includes asking somebody to make sure it's okay. Are you afraid of your significant other could hurt you or something you care about? Are you afraid to end the relationship with your significant other? Okay, so if you look at a lot of these words, like afraid, afraid, the difference here is fear. Okay, the difference between an unhealthy relationship and an abusive relationship is the element of fear. So here's some red flags that you're in an abusive relationship. Your partner constantly criticizes you, your intelligence, and your self-worth. Your partner tries to keep you from having any friends, especially friends they see competing for your time. Your partner acts really jealous of you, especially when you try to talk to other people. Your partner has problems controlling their temper, even if it's not directed at you. Your partner makes threats against you or something you care about. Your partner insists that you do something sexual even when you have told them no. So if we look at this wheel, now we're talking about an abusive wheel. So there's power and control in the middle. That's where this all stems from. So there's minimizing and blaming, intimidation, sexual abuse, physical abuse, threats, domination, humiliation, and possessiveness. Okay? So whether someone uses jealousy as a sign of love, whether they put you down all the time, whether they treat you like a baby, they say they can't live without you, if you break up with me, I'll kill myself. If they make these types of threats, that is an abusive relationship. Okay, if there's sexual abuse, it's abusive. If there's physical abuse, it's abusive. Okay, and if they intimidate you not to do something, that's abuse. So there's a cycle here of abusive relationships. At first, it's going to be great. And then some things are going to happen and some tension's going to build. Then there's going to be an explosion. But then it'll be fine. Okay, we'll be back in the honeymoon. But then some tension will happen again. Second explosion. Then we're going to go back in the honeymoon, and so on, all the way up here. Okay, so as you look at this, notice what? The first honeymoon's the longest. Second's the second longest. Okay, honeymoon phase keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And the tension building keeps getting higher and higher and higher. And the explosion keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so we need to work ourselves out of this cycle of abuse.